Hi, I'm Paul Drew from Studio One Expert. Today I'm going to continue with my mix series video on the track What's the Time in Tokyo by Marcella Detroit. Now, over the past few weeks we've looked at the lead vocal, we've looked at some of the drum parts, we've looked at the bass. Today we're going to be looking at the backing vocals and just showing what I do with them. So as you can see here, these are all my backing vocals. Let's just have a quick listen from, say, I don't know, halfway through the second chorus here.
And I hope that you're alone. You better be sending dreams in my direction. Whoa, whoa, oh, what's the time in Tokyo? I can eat, I can sleep until I hear back from you. That's the way it has to be.
Okay, so as you can hear, the backing vocals actually sit quite nicely in the mix, but I want to give them their own space. I want to give them some reverb, some EQ and compression, just to let them sit in the mix just a bit better. So let's solo this top BV here, and let's see what's going on if I loop it.
What's the time in Tokyo? I can eat, I can sleep. Whoa, whoa. What's the time in Tokyo?
Okay, let's pan it to the middle so we can hear exactly what's going on.
What's the time in Tokyo? I can eat, I can sleep.
Now immediately I can hear some extra rumble in the bottom end. It was probably caused when the vocal was recorded. There wasn't a high pass filter put on the track. So let's bring in an EQ here. It doesn't matter which one, but always my preference on an EQ would be the FabFilter Q2. But let's see what's going on here. Okay, you see all this information down here? We do not need that, especially on backing vocals. So let's just have a listen to see what's going on there. So you can hear a tiny bit, about 40 hertz. Okay, and as we get there, we start to get to the bottom end of the vocal. So I'm going to high pass at about 116 hertz there. So what I can do, probably because all of these vocals here are, I know this one's a double, so I could just copy that straight down there. Now let's have a quick listen to the next harmony here.
What's the time in Tokyo? I can eat, I can sleep.
So we've still got the low end rumble there, so we know it's about 115 there. Just double check it. It's about that. Sounds good to me. So all I'm doing at the moment is just high passing all these vocals just to clear up the bottom end, so the bass and the low end instruments have got more space to cut through. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It's exactly the same there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to finish off EQing these vocals because it's going to be quite dull, me doing exactly the same to all of these vocals. I'll cut the video there and come back in a minute. Okay, so coming back in now, I've just found some more vocals here. These are actually vocals that I recorded actually, and you'll see the difference immediately. Let me just get rid of that filter there. And let's now I recorded it with a high pass on. So you'll see it's missing all of that information here. It does have a little bump, but nowhere near the same. Let's have a quick listen. And I'm going to filter off about 150 there. And I know that's just a double of that, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, now that should have cleared up the vocals quite a bit.
What's the time in Tokyo? I can eat, I can sleep until I hear back from you. That's the way it has to be.
Okay, so that's created a bit more space for the bottom end for the other instruments. Now what I'm going to do is to group all of these backing vocals here and put them to a submix. So I've got all my vocals here, and here's my outs. If I right click on the outs, I can add a bus for selected channels, and that's created a bus down here for me. And I'm just going to call this, let's call that BVs.
And all the
So now I could control all of the BVs going to the master bus from this bus here. But what about if I want to create a VCA? So now we're lucky in Studio One 3.2 we can actually put VCAs on the tracks. So again, I right click, and I'm going to add a VCA for selected channels, and we're going to call this BV VCA. Okay, now I've created that VCA, I just want to move the VCA channel because I don't want to keep it to the right. I want to actually have it so it's visual just for this video. So let me move that VCA now, and I'm going to stick it after my vocals there. Okay, now as you'll see, I've set the levels for all of my backing vocals, but I can now change them from the VCA. Let me just play that from here. Let's move it on to a bit. There, we've got BVs. So I can now change the amount of signal that's going from my channels here straight into my bus here. Now say that I've got a compressor, I can increase the excitement going into that compressor by, on certain passages, I can just push up the VCA, so it just pushes that compressor just that little bit harder. But I'm going to save the BV compression for the next video. So I'm Paul from Studio One Expert. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.